Tell you what, about had it with these masks. All right, guys. Obviously, we played well enough to win today. Kids did a heck of a job, played their tails off. 60-minute game. Last week we finished with the offense on the field. This week, I was hoping to finish with the offense on the field, but the defense was ready to go. We had to go, and obviously we did. And Jason Pinnock had a nice play again. Interception to end the game. Just happy for really our entire football team. They just continue to fight and find different ways to win football games, and that's what good teams do. Doesn't matter if we don't get a first down. Doesn't matter. I think we gave up 3 points in the second half, and I really blame myself. It's all that field goal is all on me. We were in a punt safe to begin with. They took a delay of game, for whatever reason, and I said to myself, I went and put our punt return out there, and I shouldn't have done it. I was like, I said they're not going to delay a game and then fake it, are they, for more yards? And I played right into their hands. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to get our Rangers out there, and so that 3 points on me. It's not on the defense. I'll take that. It's a dumb move. And shoot, if I wanted to waste another timeout, I would have, but I didn't want to waste another timeout. I thought we'd stop them. I think we had a misalignment on that as well. But we'll clean that stuff up, and we haven't given up a fake punt in a long time. So, it's just another thing to clean up. That's why they call us coach. Proud as heck of Kessman. We got a lot of faith in him, and he's 3 for 3 today. And again, I go back to that's why they call us coach, to get them right, and those are the details that great football teams do. So, questions?
Pat, you're getting most of your pressure from your four down linemen. Is that just physical domination, or is it partially scheme too?
I know the steel curtain is the Pittsburgh Steelers, but today, and really, they've been dominant up front. We did get a lot of 4-man pressure. I don't know if we had 5 or 6 man sack or not, but a lot of coverage sacks, a lot of quarterback tuck in it and containing him. Near the end, it seemed like he got away a few times. And again, our prayers go out to Malik as well. Never like to see a game end like that with minute 15 or whatever is on the clock. But it's a little bit of both. Obviously Pat Jones, Rashad Weaver, and whoever got those sacks. I don't have a stat on who got it, but I know Patrick had 3. He was upset a week ago. He practiced like an animal this week and did a great job.
How much does your defense embrace the one-score game and keep coming up with one stop after one stop in the fourth quarter?
I don't know how much they embrace it, but they give me chest pains. Again, the 2 touchdowns they got in the first half, the big long run, we just fit it wrong. And then, they came back and ran it, and we had probably a gain of 0 or 1, if that, maybe a TFL, I don't know. We just didn't fit it right. It was something different. And it was really just kind of a read that we had on based on what they were doing. We had a linebacker reading one thing, and they got us on the one read, and we changed the read and came back and stuffed them. But, those are things that happen.
As a coach, clearly you know what this defense is capable of, but what they've been able to do through these 3 games here, how impressive has it really been? It's been really impressive. Randy Bates, Charlie Partridge, Coach Harley, Coach Sanders, Coach Collins, defense staff done an unbelievable job. It starts during the week, guys. You win on Saturdays, but it starts with the preparation and putting the kids in position to make plays. And we're pretty simple but complex defense, and we give our kids a chance to just turn it loose and play football. And the penetration they had, they could run the ball on anybody. You saw what they did to Miami, a great Miami defense a week ago, and then you look at what they did to a Pitt defense. It's a little different deal when you line up against the Pitt defense.
Pat, you had 8 interceptions by defensive back all last year. You already have 5 this year. Doing something differently on that front, or was that any kind of focus for you coming into this season?
First of all, the guys are making plays. Marquez Williams, we're going to teach him a little ball security. He's trying to point out blockers and stuff, and I'm like, just tuck that ball and run, would you please? You run a 4-5, go. We might even run a 4-4. But I can't tell you we're doing a whole lot of different. We got, again, just different checks. We look the same, and we have different checks that we make coverage-wise. We'll call one coverage, and then they got a chance to put themselves in position to make plays. And there's a lot. There's a lot more mental out there as far as what we do, how we do it, and that's the key to what we do defensively. Our kids know what to do. They're confident in what they're doing. They're putting themselves in good position. And again, the credit goes to Paris Ford and DeMar Hamlin. They're those 2 safeties making those checks and and covering up the receivers to the point where the quarterbacks got nowhere to go with the ball.
You knew what you had coming into this season with Weaver, Jones, the older players on defense. But how encouraged are you by Cansey or Servassier Dennis or Marquez Williams, some of these more inexperienced guys who seem to be stepping up pretty big for you?
Yeah, I mean that's it's their turn. I mean you got Damari Mathis with shorts on in the sideline and was originally a starting quarterback or cornerback, and guys got to step up. That's what it's all about. And our kids are making plays and they're putting opportunities and have opportunities to make plays. So it's fun to see.
Coach, you mentioned the need to clean things up a little bit. Are you all concerned that your wide receiving core has 15.4% drop percentage on catchable passes this season, considering a number of drop passes stalled drives out this year?
In my opinion, it was maybe one drop pass, DJ Turner on a critical fourth down in the red zone in the third quarter, but nobody's perfect. I don't know about your percentages, but the receivers are making plays when they need to. I mean, you look at some of the catches they did make, Jordan Addison, that catch on that sideline on a third down was a critical third down. No, I'm not concerned. It's called win, just win. So no concern there, just like I'm not concerned if Kessman's going to, miss a couple field goals. We're not going to be perfect. You guys ain't going to be perfect. And obviously I messed up on the punt safe there. I should have stayed punt safe. So we all make mistakes.
Was that a assignment on the touchdown pass?
Say it again. You're muffled up. Who's muffled up there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Was that a missed assignment on the touchdown pass?
The touchdown pass. I think it was maybe a missed check, if anything. I'm not, we'll see it on tape. I'm not sure what happened on it, but we kind of knew they were going to go. We call it a chair 7, where number 1 and 2 run an under route, and they run a 7 route with 2-2. We kind of knew it was coming, and I'm not sure what happened on it, to be honest with you. But they made a play and we didn't. Maybe it was one of those wrong checks.
Pat, your players at the beginning of the season said, we don't want to be known. I asked Pat Jones specifically, hey, we don't want to be known as just a defensive team. But, 3 weeks in with the numbers you guys are putting up, it's kind of hard. Are you okay with being that? Is this what you envisioned in terms of the personality of this defense, not just the what it's playing, but the way that it's playing?
Well, the defense's motto has been unfinished business. So I think you win championships with great defense, and you can win a lot of games with defense, and our offense is going to continue to manage and get better. And again, Louisville's got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. I know Jerry was really, really, really concerned about the speed factor. Obviously, that was not a factor, which I knew it wouldn't be, but I guess I was a little sarcastic last week. But no, I'm not concerned at all. We got a great football team, and I don't care how we win it. There's going to be a time like North Carolina last year where you think you're playing good defense, all of a sudden your offense bails you out. It doesn't matter. We scored enough points to win, and that's our goal: score enough to win.
We didn't see Lucas Kroll or Wendell Davis, a couple other guys out there. Are those some serious injuries, season-ending, or?
Well, they're not season-ending yet. So we'll just, they're not season-ending yet. So we'll play it day by day.
You're 3-0 for the first time since 2014. Your thoughts on that and just moving forward?
We're 1-0 today. What we did last week and the week before really doesn't matter. All focus goes to North Carolina State and trying to be 1-0 this week. But, we just try to keep it one at a time. You never start to look ahead where we're going. I'm just proud of this football team making plays. Our punt team was much better. Major focus on our punt team. We had some great punts by, Kirk. And guys just making plays and just cleaning up things.
Pat, it was Tazier Mack's first game back, and he made a huge play sticking with it after they tried to bring him down. What can you say just about his first day back and your excitement seeing your senior back out there?
He had a couple great catches, some crucial third down catches, and that was a big fourth down catch, obviously. And we talk all the time about finishing, and he finished, and it's great to have him back. He's a big time playmaker. Coming out of last season, as you guys know, that Eastern Michigan game, he's a go-to guy, and I'm happy for Taysir.
Did your running game make strides today, Pat?
The running game, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. It seemed like the first time we'd run it, like whether it was a 1st and 10 or a second down, we ran it. Vince had 68 yards. I don't know how many yards we rushed for. 156 yards. Yeah, you rushed for 150. It's a good day. So Izzy got involved, and he had 42 yards. It ran hard. So, yeah, I mean, I'm obviously impressed with that. We've been able to run the ball and mix it up and not just be a passing team. So that's been critical.
Pat, how do you assess Kenny's performance? It seemed like in the first half he made some pretty good throws on third down there and didn't do as much in the second half, but how do you kind of assess it overall?
We'll watch the tape. He threw enough completions, made enough plays to win a football game. So I'm sure it's never as clean as you want it to be. I know he kicks himself in the butt for the pick in the second half. End of that third quarter when we're approaching the red zone. We still got to be better in the red zone. We'll continue to work on the red zone. We work in the red zone on Tuesday. We work in the red zone on Tuesday and Wednesday. We have periods in the red zone against each other, and we just got to continue to make strides down there in the red zone.
Final question before we get to our players.
What can you say about Jordan Addison and what you saw from him today? He had the big catch on third down to keep that drive alive.
Again, 7 catches again. It's like he's averaging 7 catches a game. It seems like he's a guy that you can trust. He catches just about everything. I can't say enough about the play he's made as a young guy that just steps in and makes big plays.
Thank you for your time, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're joined by cornerback number 15, Jason Pinnock, who sealed the game with the interception at the end. Jason, congrats on the win. Thanks for joining us. Do we have any questions for Jason?
Yeah, Jason, you said earlier this week that you were looking forward to the big-on-big matchup with Fitzpatrick, and you ended up getting that pick at the end. What was today just like for you from start to finish, and then obviously with the finish with the interception? What was kind of going through your mind with that?
Well, it was kind of everything we thought was going to happen. Press on the outside, and eventually it'll turn into a big close-set game, avoid press. We won it, got 3 picks. They were averaging over 500 yards, held them for 9 for 107, the total receiving core with a busted coverage. You take that away, you got less than 10 receptions for less than 100, no touchdowns.
Jason, how much did the two pieces of this defense fit together that you guys are able to be aggressive because your guys up front are getting home on such a regular basis?
Right. I think it allows both rooms to be aggressive. Our D-line, they trust that we're going to always take away first read. And we trust that they're going to get there. So, we can undercut routes. We could do things that, maybe if you didn't trust your D-line, you couldn't do. So we play well together.
Jason, can you take us through the last play and how you saw it develop and how you were able to pick it off?
Tutu's eyes kind of gave it away for me. He came out, he kept checking outside. He tightened down his split. I knew it was, that's their go-to guy, So we checked kind of like a cover 2 based off of a release, and we got him.
Jason, how did you approach the difference between Dez Fitzpatrick and his size as compared to Tutu Atwell and the speed he possessed?
I approach my game Tuesday through Thursday the same, really. I don't have a different approach. I'm a big film guy. Their tendencies stood, and we made our plays.
Jason, how much do you embrace like the tight 1-score game? The offense wasn't coming up with touchdowns, and they kept asking you guys to make the plays, and you guys were there every time.
You gotta love it. I love the pressure. You know what I'm saying? I came from pressure. So we go out there after the interception or fumble, whatever they called that, with Kenny Pickett. We out there dancing. Our defense loves it. We practice sudden change, and we embrace it.
Anything final for Jason?
Jason,
All right,
just how impressive is it what this defense has been able to do throughout these first 3 games here to kind of help you guys to where you are?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sorry, how impressive has what this defense has been able to do through these first 3 games kind of been for you guys, knowing that I'm sure there's even more of a ceiling you guys want to reach?
I wouldn't say impressive because it was expected, but it's exciting. It's exciting that it's, coming into play.
Jason, congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Our next player representative, defensive end number 91, Patrick Jones, the second, 3 sacks today. Congratulations, Patrick.
Appreciate it.
We'll open it up for questions for Patrick.
Patrick, what do you think allows this defense to have young guys step in when you guys need a breather or someone goes down, to have young guys step in and there not really be a drop-off?
I think it's the culture we set. We set a culture where we hold everybody to the same standard. So no matter if you're young or old, we expect you to have your fundamentals down, your technique down. So when it's time for your number to be called, you can step in and play.
Go ahead.
7 sacks, I'm sure you feel good about that, getting a couple yourself, but outside of the one play, Hawkins 3 yards. I mean, that's not a guy that ever has that happen. How are you guys able to take him out of the game?
Just about following the game plan. Coach said they came up with a great game plan this week, so we just stuck to the game plan, ran our fundamentals, and everything just worked out.
Patrick, Jason Pinnock just said that he felt the defensive performance today wasn't impressive. It was kind of expected. Is that just kind of the vibe in the defensive room right now, that you guys are just expecting to have these kind of performances week in, week out?
Yeah, I agree with Jay Penny saying that, because we work so hard. And I mean, everything we do is not given to us. It's through hard work, and we strive to be the best in the country. So me personally, I feel like we left some stuff out there on the field, and like you said, that one big run, we should not have gave that up. We got to go back and fix that, because we can't be giving up stuff like that if we want to be the best in the country.
Coach Narduzzi mentioned that the defense is simple, but it's yet complex, allowing you guys to do what you do best. I mean, how does that kind of benefit you in the way that this defensive scheme is fitted for you to make these sacks?
It benefits us because we could just play fast, use our instincts, and we could just go. Like we don't really have nothing slowing us down, so it allows us to just show all our athletic ability and to just go.
Coach Narduzzi said that the defense's motto is unfinished business. I'm just sort of curious, where did that sort of come from? And sort of, did you want to be on the field at the end to make that play? I mean, you guys dominated the game, and yet you're still, like, it's a field goal game and they have the ball with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, of course. I mean, unfinished business is something we decided on, because we felt like last year we did good, but there's still so much more stuff that we gotta work on. So we left unfinished business last year, so we got to finish that business this year.
Patrick, Coach Narduzzi said that you guys put in Will Gibson to work the scout team this week to kind of develop on how to work against a mobile quarterback. How much did this week's practices against that help you guys, and how did you feel just going into this game that you had to contain Malik, and you guys did for the most part?
Man, Will Gibson helped so much. He a great dude, positive attitude. Practice, he asked us if he was doing everything the right way, just wanted to give us the best look possible, and I truly think he helped us a lot. Like, I feel like scout team players don't get all the respect they need all the time, but I think he really made the difference this week.
Patrick, can you describe a little bit the game plan and how you were able to get to the quarterback and at the same time stop the run?
The game plan this week, it was just, they kind of just let me and Rashad roll with it. They just let us rush off the edge and pretty much just match up against them. And me and Shad, we went out there and balled, and we just won our matchups. And versus the run, our whole thing was to just get penetration and make sure nobody could they couldn't get outside on the outside zone, and just to penetrate and just be relentless the whole game.
Any final questions for Patrick?
Patrick, you said you guys want to be the number one defense in the country. By what standard? Points allowed, yards allowed, sacks? I mean, is there a certain benchmark you guys are looking to reach here by the end of the season?
Everything. You want everything. We want it all. We want to be the best in every single category. It's not a category we don't want to be number one in. We're coming for it all.
Pat, 3 interceptions. Who had the best dunk, though?
I'm not sure. I got to go back and see it. All the dunks were crazy.
Patrick, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
No
Congratulations.
Problem. Thank you.
Our next player representative is place kicker number 97, Alex Kessman. Alex, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Any questions for Alex?
Alex, what's the main thing you did to kind of flush those first 2 weeks out and just come better prepared today?
Yeah. It's a long 2 weeks, that's for sure. I stopped being so robotic, stopped thinking, just went back to natural kicking style. I reflected on those 2 games and put them behind me, and I don't know, I just cleared everything out, and just I know how to kick the ball, so told myself go out there and just kick the ball.
Is that a conclusion you came to by yourself? Did you talk to someone, a coach, a family member, or someone who said, hey, like, you know how to kick the ball? Or is that just something, like you said, maybe you just reflected on and realized yourself?
I just reflected on it. Looking at tape, my mental preparation going into it was a little bit different in the sense of I went back to what I was doing in the beginning of camp, where I would meditate every day and just kind of slow the world down a little bit for myself, and just focus on myself, honestly, and stop worrying about all these things that I can't control. I think that helped me in the long run.
Alex, Pat said this week that he was confident that you guys had fixed whatever was going on. What is it like to not just have that confidence from the head coach, but also that kind of assured mentality that you had totally flushed it out coming into today?
Well, I talked to Dr. Rosen, which is my sports psychologist, and I talked to him since I was a sophomore, and I hadn't talked to him this year. And I think what he told me, it just set me, in the present. Maybe my mind was down the road or something, but I think that he brought me back and grounded me, and just told he told me to just trust myself. I've done it before. I've proven that I can go out there and kick the ball, and he just said, go out there and kick. Stop thinking.
Anything final for Alex?
Alex, when did you talk to Dr. Rosen?
I talked to Dr. Rosen on Wednesday.
Is it just one session with him, or do you meet with him regularly?
Probably every other week. What he said to me on Wednesday will stick with me for a while, probably a long time. And I wrote down a lot of notes and prefer that stay between me and him. And I think I just really needed somebody that knows what they're talking about, and I felt like he knew exactly what my mindset was and where I was mentally and physically, and I think he just brought me back and just centered me, and I felt good today. So,
explain a little bit. You said you were doing some meditating in training camp. What's that like? How long does each meditation session last?
I'll take 30 minutes. There's this app called Calm. Pay monthly fee or whatever it is, but they have these guided meditations that I go through, and they're about 30 minutes. And I just take, turn the lights off or put on some kind of light, and just take a deep breath. I think the world right now is too fast. People need to just slow down and reflect on themselves, and yeah.
Alex, thank you for your time. Very well said. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And our final guest is quarterback number 8, Kenny Pickett. Kenny, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
We'll open up for questions for Kenny.
How big was Jordan's catch on third down to keep that drive alive on the sidelines?
Yeah, it was huge. Jordan's a big-time player. He's making, great plays for us. We're going to continue to, incorporate him a lot more, as the season goes on.
Kenny, how did it feel to have Tazier Mack back? You connected with him a few big times, and he had that huge touchdown.
Yeah, that's my guy. Been with him through a lot. Was really happy to see him on the practice field this week, and he was running really well. He's got fresh legs, so I knew he was going to have a big game. I just had to get the ball in his hands.
Kenny, is there anything you can put your finger on when it comes to, when you guys get in the red zone or even inside the 35? I think you guys got inside the 35 7 times today, scored 2 touchdowns. Is Is there anything you see that happens when you guys get closer to the goal line? Is there anything you put your finger on?
I think getting behind the sticks early is what hurt us, today. Just off the top of my head, I obviously got to go back and watch it. But, if we can stay ahead of the sticks and be more aggressive, that's where we want to be down there.
It seemed like there were a couple times where you had a penalty that really took away a big game. You had a couple drops. Does it feel like there's really only some details that are holding you guys back from having maybe the kind of game you feel like you're capable of having?
Right. I think we're, like you said, a few plays away. We try to limit the drops a little bit more in the pre-snap penalties. What hurt us today. They were doing some things up front, yelling, which had our guys jump a few times, which is illegal. But once we get that squared away, I think we'll really take off. It's just the little details right now, and we're just a few plays away.
I'm curious, what's it like to watch your defense go to work?
Love watching our defense. They make us better offensively going against them, in practice every day and all camp. Top defense in the country without a doubt. Just having those guys behind us, and we try to go out there and get on guys early, get on top of teams early, so they can go play fast and pin their ears back and do what they do best. So we just want to keep widening the gap throughout the game, let those guys be more aggressive and do what they do best.
Kenny, there were a couple of times where you took off and got first downs with your legs. That seems like an aspect of your game that is maybe developing a little bit more this year. I know you did a bit last year, but is that something you focus on in the off season? Just having that confidence to break the pocket when you need to.
I wouldn't really say that. I mean, Louisville is doing a really good job of getting underneath a lot of routes early. I think that's why we had a lot of success running the ball. But once I see it clear, and I worked on my speed a lot this offseason, and Coach Stack helped me out a lot when he came in, and just another year of maturity and growth in the weight room, and working speed drills out in the field. So I think that's just an element of my game that can really just keep drives alive and keep us on the field. So it's just something I'll just keep doing.
Kenny, how does the loss of Wright and Lucas Krull affect the formations and the personnel you used today against Louisville?
Yeah, we're a little banged up today on offense. I've had a few guys down before the game, and then, obviously some guys went down during the game. But it's just more adversity, and it's just things you got to fight through. It's football, it happens. I'm hoping those guys get back as soon as they can. But it definitely alters the game plan and alters what you want to do. Week by week, it's a new team. So, we'll just take it in stride and keep moving forward.
Anything final for Kenny?
Hey, Kenny, that 4-receiver set, was that something you guys have been working on in general, or is that kind of directly in response to not having Lucas?
The 4-receiver sets, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, we threw it in there a little bit versus Syracuse, and obviously, when Lucas and Kai went down, that was going to be more of an emphasis this week, just having Jared on the field as well. He's been doing a great job, and now he's working outside and inside, where, I think he's an X factor now that we have in there. So, like I said before, just, adapt and overcome, the circumstances that we're dealt with and just keep rolling.
And we just talked to Alex Kessman, and he mentioned his work with a sports psychologist and kind of what that kind of turned around for him this week. Is that something that you've used before? He also mentioned things like meditation. What do you kind of use in order to kind of settle yourself, particularly if you don't have a strong performance?
Really, it's just, talking with Coach Whipple and correcting, what I need to correct. I think that's just the best way to go about it. Coach Whip's been in this profession for a long time, so he's the guy I kind of lean on and for guidance. He's helped me, these past 2 years, immensely. So, and really the team, you can fall back on your teammates. I got great people in this locker room. I'm very grateful to be on this team. So I think we're all moving in the right direction, and we're just, keep stacking wins.
Kenny, what do you think about how Vincent ran the ball, and not just, him actually run, but him catching a few passes too, just the way that he runs? It doesn't seem like he shied away from contact today at all.
No, Vince is one of the toughest guys on the team, and he prides himself on that. Smaller guy, but it takes 2 or 3 to bring him down. Guy I love playing with, plays really hard, full tilt. And I think the jump that he made this year was in his preparation. I think he's done a really good job preparing week by week and kind of taking more of a leadership role in the running back room. Now with AJ down, AJ went out and he stepped up big time. So really happy for him.
Kenny, thank you for your time. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, guys.
And that concludes our post-game press conference. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be sending out the video of this shortly, along with a full transcript of Coach Narduzzi's press conference. Have a great evening, everybody.